In this video, we're going to convert a couple of kind of strange ones that are going to have multiple conversions. And so in this first example, I have 6 miles, and I want to know how many yards are in those 6 miles. There's the problem though. See, I don't know how many yards there are in a mile. I know how many feet there are in a mile, and I know how many feet there are in 1 yard, but I don't know how many yards there are in 1 mile. And so to do that, I'm going to have to go ahead and use my conversions to give me that information. Now, rather than going ahead and just converting 1 mile and seeing how many yards and then multiplying by 6, I'm just going to do this all in one shot. And so what we're going to do is we start, okay, so where we start at 6 miles. Okay, now, I always put down where have I been? I've been in miles. And then where do I want to go? Well, I can go from miles to feet. Okay, and so I'm going to feet. All right, so 1 mile, according to my conversions up here, 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So in other words, the way you can read this is for each mile you have 5,280 feet. Now I'm not done because when I complete this calculation, I'm in feet. The miles cancel and I'm in feet. I want to be in yards. And so I'm going to continue with a second conversion here, and I know that I'm in feet. That's where I was. I want to be in yards, and I can go from feet to yards. I can go from 3 feet to 1 yard. So, unlike my previous examples, I have 3 feet here on the bottom, and I have 1 yard up top. And now feet cancel when I do the calculation. I'm left in yards, which is where I want to be. So when that happens, then I've got this 6 times 5,280 times 1 divided by 1 divided by 3. Again, this is shorthand. You can always just multiply straight across the top, multiply straight across the bottom, and then divide. That's fine. But I found in a calculator, you can do it in one shot with this kind of a syntax. And so if I bring up my calculator and move it so you can all see it, I'm going to turn this back on here. Take 6 times 5,280 times 1 divided by 1 divided by 3. I get 10,560. 10,560. That's the number of yards in 6 miles. Okay, again, this technique down here, multiply, 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 multiply all the way across the top, then divide, 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 divide on the bottom, that always works. So let's try this second one over here. We're going to kind of run the same instance here. We have inches going to miles. Okay, now inches are quite a bit smaller than miles, but I don't know how many inches there are in a mile. I do, however, know how many inches there are in a foot and how many feet are in a mile. And so I can use those two conversions. Again, it's very handy to have a chart with you at all times. At least this, as you're using these, or as you're learning them for the first time. And so we have 445 inches. That's where we start. And then where we're in inches. Where we want to be, well, we can convert to feet. That's about the only place we can go for inches right now. And for 1 foot, there are 12 inches. Now, we can't stay in feet because we want miles, and so we're going to have, do we know a conversion from feet directly to miles? And we do. We have 5,280 feet per 1 mile. And so we go ahead and have where we were. Notice the inches cancel here. Where we were was feet. That goes on the bottom. And there's 5,280 feet. Where we want to be is miles, and there's 1. And so our syntax on our calculator is going to look something like this. 445 times 1 times 1 divided by 12 divided by 5,280. Feet cancel. I'm left in miles, which is where I want to be. And so if I bring up my handy dandy calculator again, clear that out so I'm not distracted. 445 times 1 times 1 divided by 12 divided by 5,280 equals 0.0070. So 0.0070. And I can just go ahead and it's about that. And that's pretty close. So we'll go ahead and put that down as our answer. And now you saw that there were some leftover decimal places there. When you get this high up, as far as the size of the number, let it be. It's fine. If you need more because your instructor tells you to, again, you can add more as needed. But for right now, this gets the point across. Remember, all conversions work this way, no matter what you're doing, no matter what the measurement is. If you're in grams to kilograms, if you're in, if you want to go from pounds to newtons, if you don't know what any of these things are, don't worry, they're just straight conversions. So you can do all that, but the conversion process works exactly like you see it.